Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tot and I'm back with another video. So guys, I know you haven't seen me in like a couple of weeks now, almost a month. I don't remember the last time I posted a video on YouTube. Like, it's so crazy, but your girl is back. And I'm back with some good news. I just graduated with my BSN. Yes, so guys, what I've been going to school for so long, I finally achieved it. And it was a very emotional time for me because it was just a lot going on. And yeah, I'm finally glad to say that I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. The next step is to take my NCLEX, which is like a state board exam that graduate nurses, because right now I'm considered a graduate nurse. I don't have a license to perform any type of action in a hospital or work in a hospital as a nurse officially because I'm not registered. So once I take that state exam, I will be registered. I graduated last week. Today is, I think, the 28th. So it's been a full week since I graduated. I went to Atlanta over the weekend for the Memorial weekend or Memorial holiday. And yeah, so I'm finally calmed down. All the excitement has, you know, not chilled, but you know, I found time to do a video on this. So basically, I'm gonna explain why it took me 6 years to get my BSN. Yeah, 6 years. I really wanted to do this story because I know there's a lot of people who have been in this position or who are currently in this position where they're trying to achieve something or they're trying to get into a program and it's just not working out for them, or they just don't see a way out. They just think like this profession is not for them and stuff like that. So I just wanted to share my story so that you can get a feel of, you know, this happens to a lot of people and it's not easy. It's not easy. Although people make it seem that it's easy, it's really not. And my friends can attest to that. That is not easy. And so can my family as well attest to that. That, you know, this is something that you have to earn. It's not really given to you. And the way you earn it is not gonna be smooth sailing. It's gonna be bumps and humps in the road. But yeah. So let's start with the video. I have some tissue here because last week I was really emotional about, you know, really saying this online. But now I feel pretty better because I feel like everyone goes through this. Although, you know, some points I might, you know, shed a tear. But, you know, it's very personal to me. This journey is very personal to me. It's very emotional. And yeah. So when I started my college search, let's start there. When I started my college search, I was like, you know, I'm into fashion and I'm into like kind of technology stuff, but I didn't know what area that I wanted to do. So this was right after high school and I'm just like, damn, I don't know what to study. I was like, you know, I don't mind being a psychologist. And, you know, I used to have a guidance counselor that I really liked in my high school and also my junior high school. And I was like, oh, this seemed cool. This seemed like something I could do, you know, prepare the students for the next steps and, you know, college life, or, you know, talk about problems and stuff. Okay, so I thought about doing psychology. Then I was like, I don't know. Then my family, because all my family is in the medical field, my family is like, you need to do something in the medical field because da 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 da. So I was like, I don't see myself working in the medical field. I was like, I don't see myself working in the medical field, whatever. So I was just like, I don't know. But then I realized, like, I adore babies. Like, I really love taking care of babies. And I was like, what about if I happen to, you know, work in the medical field, like y'all want me to, you know, could I work with babies or like work in the nursery? I asked my mom, like, who are the people that work? Are those aides or those doctors? Who are the people that works with the babies right after delivery, like in the nursery or in the ICU or NICU? And my mom was like, those are nurses. Like, you could work in the nursery with the babies and stuff, and labor delivery or stuff like that. And I was like, wow, you could just be a nurse to do that? And she was like, yeah, that's who they are. They're not any aides, or they're not doctors and stuff. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna take up nursing because I really wanted to work with babies. Pediatrics was always my favorite. Mother and baby, like labor and delivery stuff, that was always my favorite thing to do. So okay, fast forward, get into Del State, and I was a pre-nursing student in Del State. Just remember like all this background stuff because it's gonna make sense later on. Got to Del State, Delaware State University. Why did I pick Del State? Oh, I didn't even want to go to Del State at first. I didn't know where I wanted to go actually. Like, if you just graduated and like, or you're close to graduating from high school and you don't know where you want to go, don't be surprised. Everybody has the same problem. Like, most people just go where their family members went or their older brother and sisters. But my mother stayed here for college. And I didn't want to stay in New York. That's one thing I didn't want to do. If I was going to stay in New York, it would have to be upstate New York, or that was it. I'm not staying in New York City for college because, like, when I was here for high school, I did terrible. Not terrible, but I was just like a mediocre student, just getting by, you know, just passing my classes just to pass them. I'm not saying like C's and D's, but like, you know, I was a B student. But I wasn't focused. When I came home to like study and do stuff, I wasn't focused. I was just sitting down watching TV on the computer, hanging out with my friends when I wanted to and stuff like that. So I was just like, you know what, now because my mom has to pay for school, this is not free, so I have to really buckle down and get to work. So I went away. Delaware is probably like 3 hours away from New York City. And my mom was just like, oh, let's check out Delaware State University because her close friend went there, and that's also my godmother. She went to Delaware State University, and when I went there, I was like, oh, this is nice. Like, it could still have a country feel, but it also has a New York feel because there's a lot of people from New York there. And you know, it looked like a campus, and it was a decent price. And then it had dancing, because that's the top two stuff I had, dancing and nursing. If I was gonna do nursing at a school, I had to be a part of the dance team, or, you know, band dancing. That's all that I wanted to do. So they had both of those things, so I went to Delaware State University. Okay, now Delaware State University. So now I'm doing the prereqs for my nursing classes. So like basically A&P stuff, which is anatomy and physiology, basically the regular reading, math, college algebra, stuff like that. So I was doing that. A&P, I was so like taken aback because like when you come from a high school where, you know, you didn't really learn, you learn stuff like that, but this is more in depth, and they just threw me into it on my first semester. I was just like, yo, ma, I don't know what's going on. I used to cry on the phone like, ma, I don't know if this is for me. Like, this is hard. Like, I'm really out here studying. It's really hard. By the grace of God, I passed those classes, and I was able to go on to my sophomore year. Is it sophomore? Yes, sophomore year, the ending of sophomore year to the beginning of junior year, that's when you apply for the nursing program. So I know some schools, once you're accepted as a nursing student, you automatically just go straight into the nursing program. This school is different. You have to be a pre-nursing student, and then at the ending of your sophomore year into your junior year, you become a nursing student. Like, you apply to become in the nursing program. So here's where it all fell down. So before you get into the nursing program, you have to take an exam. So I took the exam, and one of my grades were a little underneath the level that they needed to, in order for me to get into the program. So I was like, but they gave me a little time frame where I could take it again, and if it's above that requirement, then I will be able to, you know, apply for the nursing program. So, okay, so I took it again, got over the requirement, and I was like, yes. Applied for the nursing program, didn't get in. Grades were okay, like everything was good, but I didn't get into the program. So now I'm just like, in my junior year, like, what am I gonna take up? Because I'm not sitting a whole year at Delaware State. My mom is paying tuition and none of these classes are going towards my degree. No, that's a dub. I'm not doing that. So I was like, you know, the best thing for me to do is just take up something else, and when I graduate, I'll figure out the nursing program stuff again. So that was the first time I was so devastated. I was just like, I don't understand. You get good grades, you do whatever you're supposed to do. Why can you still get into the program? Sorry for the ambulance in the back. But yeah, apparently it was due to the size of the nursing school, like the teachers that they had, the faculty, and the locations that they will put you for clinical. That's why I didn't get picked to be a part of the nursing program. So now junior year comes and I'm just like, I'm doing stuff that I don't even want to do. This is not what I came into school for, but whatever. I'm just gonna graduate and then figure it out after. So went through everything, passed all my classes, graduated magna cum laude, and I'm just like, I was sad because I was like, I don't really want this degree. Basically, I was like, I was happy that I was graduating from a prestigious college and everything, but you know, when you set out yourself to do something and then you get like the short end of the stick, it's just like, yeah, I graduated. I hope I don't sound like ungrateful, but like, I really didn't want this degree. Like, I didn't want it. I wanted to be a nurse, you know what I'm saying? So I was very like, oh yeah, I'm graduating, but this is not the degree that I wanted. I think everybody, like, I think my family and friends for, you know, always supporting me and stuff like that, but I was just really like, I don't want this degree. Like, I'm happy for the opportunity, and I'm happy that I've been put in positions where other people couldn't even imagine of going. Like, people couldn't even imagine of graduating from college or being able to take a college course, and I got the, you know, I was able to do that, and I'm happy for that. But as far as, you know, my degree and what I set myself out for, I didn't really like it. Like, I didn't want it at all. And I hope I'm not sounding like ungrateful, but that's just how I was feeling at the time, because I'm really hard on myself, and once I don't get something that I really like am going for, it's just like, I'm just like, you know. But anyways, so I graduated. Woo! So now it's time to apply for an accelerated program. So after I graduated, I was saying I'm gonna start an accelerated program. That way, by next year, talking about the following year after I graduated, I'll be a nurse. You know what I'm saying? Fine. Searching for schools. I applied to Stony Brook, I think, and Rutgers. So after I graduated, like all people that graduate, they can't find a job right away. So I went into retail, and I was working at Mango. Can you believe it? Me working at Mango right after you graduated summa cum laude, and like, you can't find like a job with the degree you have. Yeah, that was me. So worked at Mango, was a visual merchandiser, and I started as a sales associate, then I got into a visual merchandiser, and then I did that all the way, I think I did that all the way up to January. I'm trying to remember what I did. Yes, I did that all the way to January, but during that time I was applying for schools to start in September or August time. So I was applying for Stony Brook and also Rutgers. So from May to August times, I was applying, going to schools, visiting schools to learn about their accelerated program, this, that, and the third. I did all of that, and I still didn't get into Stony Brook or Rutgers after having a 3.8, I think it is 3.8 or 3.7, something like that, GPA, and also, you know, letting people write my recommendation letters and doing my own personal statement, all of that, all the stuff that was required of me. I didn't get into nursing school. So I was just like, what the hell? Like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm doing what I have to do. I'm putting out stuff here, and like, I'm just getting denied. I was denied 3 times. I got denied from my own school, Delaware State University. I got denied from Stony Brook, and then I got denied at Rutgers University. So I'm like, is this really for me? Like, I'm really trying to figure out, is like nursing for me? Because I don't understand why every time when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, it just never works out for me. Whew, I'm getting emotional. And so, but I never gave up. That's one thing about me. I was just like, I don't understand why it's not working for me. So after I didn't get in, I was looking at some more schools, and I was like, maybe, you know, they have another school has a starting date in the springtime. Not, because a lot of schools, they start their semesters from fall, and then you go into the school, into the, like, you'll go into the flow of the curriculum. But some other schools, you can start in the summer, some can start in spring, and some can start in fall. So I don't know, I just stumbled upon the College of New Rochelle, and they had a starting date in January. So of course I was like, oh no, I gotta do it. And plus they were cheaper than the Rutgers. It was cheaper than Rutgers and also Stony Brook. So I was just like, you know what, let me jump on it. So I applied, and like, I don't know, I just got in. So once I got in, I was like, you know, getting my stuff ready, and I was just so thankful that I got in, because it made me realize, like, you know, if you really continue to keep on doing it, it's gonna work out for you. If this is something that you really want. Yes, sometimes the denies and the no's and stuff like that, it discourages you from, you know, pursuing what you really want to do. So but like, if it's something that, you know, I realized, here's my thing, I realized that it was something that I really wanted to do once I got denied, and I was like sad about it. If usually when I get denied, I'm like, oh, whatever, because I didn't really want it, it doesn't matter to me, you know. But when you get denied and you realize that you really like something, or you really wanted to do it, is when you get sad. You realize, like, yo, this is probably for me. That's why I'm getting like so emotional about it, or whatever. Yeah, so that's how I realized, like, yo, this could really be something for me, because how every time when I get denied, I'm just like in tears. So let's forward on to when I got into nursing school. So I got into nursing school in January 2017. It's 2019. This is an accelerated program for 15 months. So that means your girl was supposed to graduate in 2018. So I'm gonna tell you guys about this nursing journey. It was not easy. Okay, so I went to the College of New Rochelle starting in January 2017, and they have different campuses around the New York City area. So the campus that I went to was called the Rosa Parks campus in Harlem. So I'm like, oh, this is good for me. I don't have to drive all the way to the Bronx or New Rochelle to, you know, go to school. This is easy for me. I could just take the train. Excuse me. So it was on 125th. So I just hopped on the train and did what I had to do and come back home. So on the first day, the teacher didn't show up. Yeah, so I'm just like, Lord, please just make this a smooth sailing journey, please. The teacher didn't show up for the first class that we had of the day. I don't know what happened to the teacher. She just didn't show up. So then we had another class, so we just sat in the class and waited for the next teacher. It was going into the fall time. This is from summer to fall. So for the 2 semesters of the spring and the summer, I was in Harlem. Then for some reason they were closing their lease with the place that they were at in Harlem, and we end up going to New Rochelle for classes now. So I was just like, what the hell? I live in Brooklyn. How am I gonna get to New Rochelle? Like I knew how to drive, but I wasn't like, this was like probably like my 2nd year having my license, and I barely drove like on the highway like that, because out here it's just regular streets. So I barely drove on the highway. I'm so hot. So I had to go to New Rochelle. So now I had a classmate that lived in Brooklyn too, and I would pick her up and we would head to New Rochelle probably like 5 times a week. One like couple classes that we had, and also some of the clinicals we had together, so we would have to drive together. And yeah, so I was in New Rochelle and I had a psychology class, and unfortunately I didn't pass the psychology class because at the end of each semester we have a thing called a HESI, which is like a little state exam that helps you prep for the NCLEX, which is the big state exam that you have at the end of everything. So for some reason I could not get with the psychology, and that's how I knew psychology. I knew way long time before when I was at Delaware State, because I took a psychology class then, and I knew like psychology is boring to me. That's not for me. So I realized that yeah, psychology was not my calling. So anyways, took the psychology HESI and didn't pass the HESI. Well, I did bad on the HESI, which dropped my grade, and it didn't allow me to pass. So like I was just like, what the hell, Tatiana, like what are you gonna do next? Like, so fortunately they were allowing me to grieve the grade, meaning like, you know, argue the fact that, you know, I've done well so far in my classes, and this is the only class that, you know, I didn't succeed in, and I don't understand, and like you should give me a chance. And mind you, it was only by 3%. It was bad on my part that I didn't pass, but it was a good argument that was only by 3%, and that the teacher could allow me to, you know, continue on, because I was doing well in all the classes until it came to the end of the HESI. And sometimes the HESI can be a little tricky, because sometimes they give you 2 grades. They give you a raw grade, a raw score, or they give you a percentage grade. So usually the percentage is based on how many answers, the weight of the answers. So if you got a lot of the easy questions correctly, your percentage is going to be lower than your raw score. You know what I'm saying? So some teachers were doing the raw score, some teachers put in the percentage. So, you know, that I can also argue with that too, that, you know, I'm not sure what score that she put in that made me drop my grade, but you know, this will happen. So I mean, it was a good argument, but it didn't work out. But they allow me to, you know, retake the course at the end of, you know, at the last semester, because it's a less course load, so it's a less workload, so they allow me to take it again at the end of all the classes that I took. So now we're in the spring semester of 2018. So this year I'm supposed to graduate, right? So I have this class. We have 3 classes. 3 classes. It was Peds, Community, and also MedSearch 2. No, MedSearch 3, matter of fact. Peds, Community, and MedSearch 3. Yeah, that's what we had. All in one semester. And those people who are in nursing school, y'all know those are 3 heavy courses. I don't know why would they join those 3 together. I just don't know why. So we had those 3 courses together, and I don't know, this lady that we had, like, I'm telling you, because of that incident that happened in the psychology class, I was making sure that I was studying my behind off, like tired, like my eye was bloody red driving to New Rochelle every week, every day. Basically, going to New Rochelle for the when we had the finals, going to New Rochelle at like late, coming back late to find parking, that because where I live the parking is terrible. So like I was just doing the most just so this doesn't happen to me again. And the teacher we had, for some reason, she favored whoever she wanted to favor, and it was up for everybody else. Like, if you would study hard, you would not see the results that you get. And it wasn't only me, it was people that was actually like, oh, did you read the book? Did you read? Like, because I'm not a type of person like, oh my god, I gotta go read chapter da da da. No, what we gotta study for? Okay, I'm gonna just study those separate. That's how I am. I'm not a person that's gonna sit down and read the book and do all of this or whatever when like 3% of what is on the book is gonna be on the test. You know what I'm saying? So people that were doing well like that, they just were not seeing the results that they wanted to see. So I'm just like, what the hell? So we went to the dean from the first exam. We went to the dean and spoke to the dean about like what was happening. Mind you, we were supposed to go back to New Rochelle, but that didn't work out. Whatever place they bought now, it couldn't fit our class, so that didn't work out with us going. I mean, Harlem. We was after the fall semester. We was supposed to go back to Harlem, but that didn't work out because the place that they had there couldn't hold the class that we had, because it was like a good 45 of us or 35, something like that, around that number of us in that class, and it was just too small. So now we're still back in New Rochelle. But yeah, we spoke to the dean about, yeah, this lady, if sometimes we argue a question with her, like we debate a question about, oh, this was worded wrong, or the choices here are wrong, she would give the points back to only few people, not the entire class. So we're confused on if 50% of the class got the question wrong and you giving 10% of the class their points back, what happens to the other 40% people? You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff wasn't adding up, and we were telling the dean. They was like, oh, we're gonna check. They never checked. So from that to the last exam, we kept on going to the dean. They say they're gonna check. So now the last exam, it was like people that were doing well, people that, you know, I don't know, like they were heading the books every week, were failing by like 0.5. So when we really went after the dean this time, and she said, okay, definitely I'm gonna check. She checked this time. Majority of those people that had the 0.5 off or whatever, that they couldn't go on to the next section, they passed because this lady was playing with people's grades. So unfortunately, I was in that same group that still didn't pass even when those grades went out. I don't understand, because I worked hard, I did everything I was supposed to do. Now, some schools, we know if you fail one class, you're out. And some other schools, if you fail 2 classes, like that's it. Like they're really kicking you out of school. But I don't know. It was like the grace of God. It was like the grace of God, because we went to the dean's office and the lady was like, oh, if you fail 2 classes that has a clinical, you know, you will have to go through a grievance. You will have to go to a grievance thing and, you know, explain or whatever, what happened or whatever have you. And I was so nervous, like, because I understand why I didn't pass the first time, but this second time I was just like, you know, hey, I'm studying, I'm doing what I have to do. I'm like, I barely go out. I'm driving 2 hours because I had to pick up my friend. Then we had to drive to New Rochelle. And I'm tired. I'm tired. When I come home from school, I don't have time to study. I'm so drained from driving that, you know, and I made it my business that this semester that it was gonna, like, I was gonna focus and buckle down, because I don't fail classes. That's not me. From when I started my high school journey from Delaware State, I never failed a class. That wasn't me. So I was just confused. So I was so nervous, and like, you know, I filed for the grievance and did everything, trying to so that was like the week that they told me, like, oh, it's time for you to you know, I was waiting for them to set an appointment for me to meet with the president and the president of nursing and the whole department or whatever, and also a student and stuff like that. So I was just waiting for that email. But like, even nurses from my church was like, this is ridiculous. This course load is so ridiculous. I don't know why would they ever do that. So I was praying to God. I said, God, I don't know how this is gonna work out, but if it works, I'm just trusting in you. I'm just trusting in you. I'm just gonna leave it in your hands, because I don't know what else to do. I did all I can do, so I'm just gonna leave it in your hands. So I said that prayer, and I don't know if it was the week of that prayer I said that, I got an email from the dean stating that, you know, they will allow me to continue the nursing program. I wouldn't have to go through any grievance. And I was just like, thank you, Jesus. Like, oh my God, like, y'all don't even understand. Like, every time when I'm in there, it's something that just be like, nope, this not for you. Nope, this not for you. So, like, for anybody that is like right there reaching, every time when they step forward, something be like, nope, and you gotta step back 3 spaces. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your time is coming. Don't worry, your time is coming. So with that being said, now because the grievance process was so, like, for them to, you know, approve me to move on forward, it was so long, I didn't get a chance to get a spot in one of the classes that I had to retake. So I already applied for the psychology class that I failed, and I was taking the last bit of classes that I had left to do. So I took the psychology class, and I took the community clinical that I had to do, and that's what I was just doing in the summer. So I was like, I know in the next semester for the Med-Surg 3, because I failed Med-Surg 3 in the spring, I know for the next semester for Med-Surg 3, I'm going to try to get a job, because that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing 1 class and a clinical. What else is there to do for me? Like, I don't have nothing else to do. They wouldn't allow me to take my last bit of classes with the Med-Surg class, because the Med-Surg class is a prereq for the last class that's coming, and a whole bunch of stuff. So basically, I was taking 2 classes in the summer, and then 1 class in the fall, and 1 class with the clinical. So I was applying to jobs to be a nursing aide, because once you have a couple of clinical experience, they know you're a nursing student, they would allow you to move forward. I mean, they will allow you to work as a nursing aide, so you can help out the nurses or whatever. You don't have to go through a certified, you know, program. Some places are like that. So I applied for some jobs. Nobody called me back. Nobody called me back, because obviously I wasn't certified as a nursing assistant. So but I don't know how some of my friends got jobs and they were nursing assistants. They were just regular nursing students. So whatever, took the class, and now is the last no, let me tell you how the final went. So the final was like, I really, shout out, sorry for the lightning or the thunder, I really have to thank my friends that graduated before me, that I started the program with, because they helped me so much. They helped me so much. That's why, you know, I'm a loner sometimes. Like, I don't like to ask for help, but you know, sometimes I make good friendship, good conversation with people, and you know, we become friends and stuff like that, and you know, we're going through the same thing, and it's hard for all of us. So my friends that were able to graduate on time, they gave me, like, you know, information on what should you look at, and you know, like what stuff to focus on different tests and stuff like that. And you know, they helped me with their notes and stuff like that, and like I would do the same for them when we were, you know, going through the program together. So yeah, the last exam, I was so nervous. Like, she gave us the option to come back and look at our grades. I was so nervous that I didn't even go back to look at my grades. Like, I was so nervous. So I prayed to God, I prayed to God, I prayed to God. I said, Lord, please, if this is for me, let it be for me. Because I know if I fail another class, that's it for me. So it worked out in my favor, and I got a 90. When I tell you, I was like shouting in here, like, it was so crazy. Like, I was so happy, so happy that, you know, it's gonna work out in my favor. And like, yeah, so now it's the last semester. This is the semester that I just finished, and this semester was like a senior capstone and also a leadership course. So usually for our leadership course, it's supposed to be like a preceptorship kind of clinical. For those who don't know what's a preceptor clinical, it's basically like you shadowing a nurse. Yeah, that was supposed to happen the semester that I entered. No, the semester before, meaning like when I was taking the med-surg class, they stopped that, and it was just a regular clinical. I didn't like that. I liked it because, like, you know, it's gonna be shorter time, but once you start working, you're gonna be there for 12 hours. It's not no shorter time kind of situation. But I was disappointed because I feel like with that preceptorship, it was gonna be very good for me. Like, I was gonna learn a lot. Like, I was gonna experience a lot. I was gonna feel more comfortable. Like, I really get nervous during interviews, but you know, you gotta get your money, so you gotta, closed mouth don't get fed, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be a big girl, put on your big girl panties, and do what you gotta do, honestly. Starting this semester was regular clinical for our leadership clinical, and yeah, we had senior capstone. I was so nervous. Oh, I talked about this in my mukbang that I did, talking about Howard University. I was so nervous. At the end of the semester, we had this presentation that you're supposed to do on your 5-year plan. What are you going to do right after you graduate from the school? So I was so nervous to do this 5-year plan because I don't know what the class that I had, that I was speaking to, was going to say about my 5-year plan. Were they going to be like, that's dumb, like, why would she do that? Like, what you know what I'm saying? Like, I was so nervous. And also because I didn't really know people like that in my class. Like, even though I did make friends in the journey and in the process, but you know, I was just really nervous on what people would think about my 5-year plan. I don't know why. I would have felt more comfortable if I was presenting in front of a group of people that I've been through the whole journey with, but that's just me. So I was very nervous. I did what I had to do. That was over. Now we had to take one more HESI. Okay, on the syllabus for one of the class I had, we had to take 2 HESIs. So on the syllabus, it says that only the one for the leadership class would count towards our final grade. It didn't say that the cumulative or the exit HESI was gonna count. So either way, I was like, you know what, let me study for this, because you know, I just been having bad luck with this friggin' HESI. So I said, let me study for this. So study for it, like I study, like do some questions online and stuff like that. I don't know, I just didn't do well on those things. Like, I just didn't do well. So I was just like, oh, it doesn't count. Mind you, I didn't do too bad than I usually do, but I was just like, I wanted to get a certain grade, but it didn't work out. So I was like, oh well, this doesn't count or whatever. but I was stressing for the leadership HESI. I was like, no, I gotta do good because, you know, I have bad luck with the HESI, so let me do good. Did the exam and I did pretty well. So I was like, okay. When they put my grade in, you know, for some of the on Canvas or like a Blackboard, like it's a website where you get to see your grades and stuff like that. So for we have Canvas, so you can plug in the grades. Like if I get a B, what will my grade be in the end? So whatever. For that I did. Well, I was like, okay, well, I'm still gonna be good. Okay, time for the grades to come in now. So the grades are coming in. I'm like, okay. One of the grades, I got a 90. I got a 90 instead of 100 because she said that one of my pictures, it was a slideshow, and one of the pictures was hiding words that I typed up, like it was blocking words. But I told her that it basically wasn't, because it wasn't, what she saw was the preview. Because you know how sometimes when you click on something, it shows you a preview of how it looks. It doesn't show you the full thing once you open up the Word document. I mean, Word PowerPoint or Microsoft PowerPoint. Like, it doesn't show you like the full thing until you open Microsoft PowerPoint. And she was like, okay, I'll give it another check. Okay. Never heard anything else from her. Then I see her put in another grade. Then I'm like, wait, no, I didn't get that grade for that HESI. I got that grade for the HESI exit. So I emailed her and I was like, wait, I didn't get that grade for that HESI. I got that for the exit HESI. What's going on? On the syllabus it says, you know, it was supposed to be something else. So she's like, oh yes, on the syllabus it says that it was counted or whatever have you. So I was like, okay, whatever. I can't do nothing about it. I'm still passing, but you know, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet with that one. So I said, so what happened to the thing that you said you was gonna take a look at? To this day, I never got a response from her. So I just had to bite the bullet and just was like, I graduated and that's it. My grades are good. I don't have to go through no grievance. I don't have to fight for any passing of the grade. I'm passing already, so I'm just gonna leave it out there. I've been through so much stress, so much anxiety, so much like emotions has been flowing in and out of me on the daily ever since I started this program. And yeah, I just was just like, you know what, that's it for me. Like, that's it. I'm not even gonna fight with this lady for my grade, even though I deserve it. But I'm just gonna continue and do what I have to do, and that's it. And that leads me up to where I am today, and I graduated last week. But yeah, I know it was a lengthy story, but I really hope it helps somebody, because whew, it's a journey. It's a journey. For those people who are really, like, I say this again because I was really like pushing for it. All my friends are working in their field. I haven't worked in my career yet. I haven't used my first degree. And I'm like about to use this second degree that I have now, but I haven't started a career yet. I started, you know, doing retail and stuff, but that's not really a career to me. I mean, for some people it could be a career to them because they can move up to corporate and stuff like that, and then also run the business as well. But that wasn't what I wanted to do. But yeah, it's really a journey. It's tough. You're not gonna have a social life like you think you are, so don't even force it. Like, the people who rock with you and the people that stand with you, they're gonna accept it, and they're gonna accept the fact that you can't go out because you have a test the next day. They're gonna understand that you can't make no birthday parties because you're not working. You can't make no birthday trips. Like, sometimes, you know, if there was something here that my friends were having, like, I would be able to go or whatever. But I miss Mexico when my friends went to Mexico, and you know, some other trips that I couldn't make, and I just had to deal with that. And I just had to know, like, you know, it's gonna work. Like, it's a process, but once it happens, it's gonna be like a relief. It's gonna be like a weight off of your shoulder. And it truly felt like that last week. And that's why I was so emotional, and I still am emotional, because like it felt like a weight has lifted off my shoulders. Yeah. And it sucks because, you know, you want to show your friends support and you want to be there for your family too, but it's also you know, you can't be everywhere. You can't be focused on something that you're paying, like my mother is paying money for, or you're getting loans to take care of, and, you know, still be the social butterfly that you always were. Like, it's definitely gonna be hard for anybody to do that. And the people who understand, the people who will rock with you, they're not gonna judge when you be like, oh, why Tatiana didn't call me? Why Tatiana didn't go to this? Yo, she acting different. No, they're not gonna do that, because they actually know that it takes time and it's focus. It's not something like, oh, I want to be a nurse but I still want to be mixy. It's not gonna be like that. So I thank my friends for doing that. I thank my family. I just wanted to talk about one thing because I forgot about it. The time where I was supposed to graduate last year, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed because a lot of people, they realized that, you know, I was in the nursing program and they knew I was getting ready to graduate, but no graduation date came up. So I was so embarrassed to let the people who were asking me, like, when is graduation and what's happening, I was embarrassed to let them know that, because they know, you know, I don't know what it is about me, but a lot of people would like to know what's going on with me, and, you know, they really support me, they look out for me, you know what I'm saying? And it just puts pressures on, it puts a lot of pressure on you to, like, not let people down. And I felt like I let down a whole bunch of people, and it wasn't in my control. It was kind of in my control, but I did the best that I could. And so this same week, or the weeks leading up to the graduation that I was supposed to be in, like, I had a whole, like, breakdown. And my mom she was there for me, and she really understood what was going on, because she was here from the beginning. She knew. My mom knew that I was doing what I had to do. I wasn't playing around. But it just wasn't working out for me. So I say that to tell you that you should really do stuff for yourself. And if stuff doesn't work out, just be confident in that, just be confident that it's gonna work out in the end. I just wanted to share this journey with you guys, because it's been really a journey. I knew that these stitches was gonna come in handy, but yeah, I always done stuff, you know, to please people or whatever, and then when things don't work out, I really get hard on myself. So just know that you're doing a good job. If you're in this moment where, you know, you're doing what you have to do, but, like, you're trying to make everybody happy, but, you know, you're stressing yourself out and things are not working, just know, like, why you started. Of course, you know, you don't have to share everything on Instagram. Oh, I'm not graduated. No, I didn't have to share that on Instagram. I just changed the date to class of 2018 to class of 2019, and it is what it is. I told people, you know, it didn't work out this week. I mean, it didn't work out this semester, but I will be graduating soon. And just to make sure you're happy with yourself and not make other people happy. If you want to leave a legacy and you want to do things that your family hasn't done. Just make a better life for your family. Then you don't worry about other people, and don't, although you know they may be annoying, like, so what, you working, you doing this, like, just do what you have to do and just focus. Be like, no, I'm not working, but I'm almost done with school, and that's it. You don't have to explain nothing else to them. That's it. They can say whatever they want to say, like, oh, Tatiana didn't graduate yet, what's she doing with herself? That they don't know what happens behind the scenes. So just let them say what they have to say, and you just do whatever you want to do for you, okay? But I say all of this to tell you, keep on pushing. Don't worry about what anybody has to say. Do things for your own self and not to please others, and it's gonna work out. I know it may seem tough right now. know you probably see the light at the end of the tunnel, but every time you grab for it, it's just too damn far. I know that feeling, but it's gonna work out. Nothing worth having comes easy. Now on to the next journey, finding a job, graduating. Taking my NCLEX and finding a job. I ask that you guys continue to pray for me, continue to support me, continue to watch my videos. I'll still be putting up videos. I'll just be a nurse, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and comment down below if you're going through anything right now, and we could have a conversation down below. If you're in nursing school, if you just started, or if you're about to finish, or if you just graduated and y'all know the struggle is definitely real, comment down below and we can have a conversation. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.